Emma didn't believe in love anymore. Not after her last relationship ended with a text message that said, "It's not you, it's me." So when she spilled her latte all over a stranger's sketchbook on Valentine's morning, she thought it was just another cosmic joke. But that stranger Harper Quinn didn't get mad. She laughed, and that laugh, rich and low, sounded like a song Emma had forgotten she used to love. The cafe was crowded with couples, red hearts hanging like small lies above every table. Emma tried to apologize, fumbling for napkins. "God, I'm so sorry. Your drawings, are they ruined?" Harper tilted her head, brushing a strand of platinum hair from her eyes. "Maybe a little caffeine will make them better." She grinned and Emma froze. It wasn't just her beauty though. Harper was stunning in that effortless, self-assured way of people who've learned to hide their pain. It was her energy. Calm, warm, almost magnetic. "I'll buy you a new one," Emma offered quickly, holding up her wallet like a peace treaty. Harper waved it off. "You can buy me coffee instead. Double shot espresso." "I think that's fair." And just like that, something shifted. They sat by the window, snow swirling outside like a scene from an old movie. Harper flipped open her damp sketchbook, showing designs of gowns and silhouettes that looked like dreams given form. "You're a designer?" Emma asked, fascinated. "Trying to be. I run a small studio in Soho. Mostly freelance, mostly broke." Harper smirked. "But I love it. Designing feels like breathing, you know?" Emma didn't know. She worked in a corporate office with gray walls and endless spreadsheets. Her dreams had shrunk over the years, compressed under paychecks and deadlines. But listening to Harper made her remember what it was like to want something so much that it scared you. They talked for hours about everything and nothing. Childhoods. Favorite movies. Why Valentine's Day was overrated. Harper teased Emma about her office chic blazer. Emma teased Harper about her coffee addiction. And when Harper touched her hand, even just to emphasize a joke, Emma felt a spark she hadn't felt in years. By the time the cafe closed, the snow had thickened, coating the city in white silence. Harper walked her to the subway, both of them pretending the night wasn't ending. "Hey," Harper said, stopping at the corner. "Can I see you again?" Emma hesitated. She wanted to say yes, but fear, the familiar, protective kind, caught her tongue. Harper noticed. "It's okay," she said softly. "No pressure." But as Emma descended into the subway, she turned back once. Harper stood there under the streetlight, snow in her hair, smiling as if she already knew Emma's answer. And somehow Emma did too. The next day, Emma found herself outside Harper's studio. The sign read Quinn Atelier. Inside, bolts of silk and sketches covered every surface. Harper looked up from her workbench, surprise flashing across her face before melting into a smile. "You came. I owed you a coffee," Emma said, trying not to blush. "Then come in," Harper replied. "But fair warning, I charge extra for company." The next hours passed like seconds. Emma watched Harper work, moving between fabric rolls, pinning samples to mannequins. Every gesture was deliberate, graceful. When Emma asked about the inspiration for her latest collection, Harper looked thoughtful. "Love," she said simply, "but not the easy kind. The kind that leaves marks. The kind that breaks you open before it heals you." Emma swallowed hard. "Sounds painful." Harper met her eyes. "The best things usually are." Over the next few weeks, Emma and Harper became inseparable. They shared dinners, midnight walks, quiet mornings with coffee. Emma found herself laughing again, rediscovering the small joys she'd buried beneath her routine. One evening, Harper invited her to a rooftop gathering with friends, artists, models, designers, the kind of people Emma usually found intimidating. But Harper never left her side. When the night grew cold, she wrapped her jacket around Emma's shoulders. "You're freezing," Harper murmured. "Maybe I'm just nervous." Harper leaned closer, her breath warm against Emma's ear. "Then let me give you something else to think about." Emma turned and their lips met. It wasn't fireworks or a movie-perfect kiss. It was slow, uncertain, filled with every question they hadn't dared to ask. But it was real. When they finally pulled apart, Emma laughed softly, dazed. "You shouldn't do that on rooftops. Someone might see." "Let them," Harper said. "I don't hide what I love." But love, Emma soon learned, isn't always easy to keep. A few days later, she discovered a photo online, Harper with her ex-girlfriend, A famous model named Lila Brooks. The caption read, "Old flames never die." Emma's stomach twisted. She didn't want to believe it, but the comments were brutal. People speculating about Harper's love life, calling her manipulative, unfaithful. When she confronted Harper, the tension was sharp enough to cut. "Why didn't you tell me about her?" Emma demanded. Harper sighed, rubbing her temples. "Because it's over. It's been over for a year." "Then why are you still in pictures with her?" "She showed up at a charity event. I didn't even know she'd be there." Emma wanted to believe her. She really did. But old scars whispered otherwise. "I can't do this," she said quietly. "I'm not built for messy." Harper's voice cracked. "Emma, please," but Emma walked away, heart-heavy, tears stinging like salt in the cold night air. She tried to go back to her normal life, but everything felt dull. The office lights too bright. The silence too loud. Harper's absence too painful. It wasn't until Valentine's Day came again a full year later that fate intervened once more. Emma was walking down Fifth Avenue, clutching a bouquet she'd bought for herself. A reminder that self-love mattered, even when romance didn't. Then she saw her, Harper, standing in the same cafe where it all began. The bell above the cafe door chimed the same soft sound that had once marked the beginning of something she didn't know how to name. Emma froze. Harper stood at the counter ordering coffee, her platinum hair now slightly longer, curled softly at the ends. She looked different, older somehow, or maybe just more real. The kind of beautiful that came from surviving something hard. Their eyes met. For a heartbeat, neither of them moved. The world narrowed to that one look, the unspoken apologies, the things they never said, the love that never truly left. Then Harper smiled. Tentatively. Hopefully. Emma. Her name sounded strange after a year. Like a song Emma hadn't heard since childhood. "Hey," Emma managed, her voice quieter than she wanted. Harper hesitated before walking over. "I didn't think I'd see you again." "I wasn't planning to be here," Emma said, forcing a laugh. "Guess the universe likes reruns." Harper's smile faltered, replaced by something softer. "Maybe it's giving us another chance." Emma looked down at her coffee cup. "I don't know if we deserve one." "Maybe we do," Harper whispered. "If we're brave enough to take it." They sat at the same table they had the first time, near the window streaked with melting snow. The city outside was quieter this year, as if holding its breath for them. "I heard you opened your own boutique," Emma said after a moment. "Congratulations." Harper nodded. "Yeah. It's small, but it's mine. I even showcased at Fashion Week last month." "That's amazing," Emma said, meaning it. "You really did it." Harper shrugged, though pride shimmered beneath her modesty. "I kept thinking about what you said about not hiding behind fear. So I stopped. I guess I have you to thank for that." Emma's chest tightened. "Don't thank me. I'm the one who left." "Maybe that's what I needed," Harper said quietly. "To lose something worth keeping." Their eyes met again, and this time, there was no bitterness, only the ache of two people still orbiting each other despite time and distance. They talked for hours again, as if no time had passed. Harper told her about the chaos of building her brand, about sleepless nights sewing by hand, about critics who dismissed her as too romantic for modern fashion. Emma told her about changing jobs, how she finally left her corporate nightmare for a small marketing firm that actually let her breathe. "I realized I didn't need to chase stability if it meant losing myself," she said. "That sounds like growth," Harper replied, smiling. Emma looked at her, eyes glimmering. Maybe heartbreak was a good teacher. Harper laughed, but her voice was tender. "Then we should both be top of the class." As the evening light faded, Harper glanced out the window. "Do you want to see the studio again?" Emma hesitated only for a second before nodding. When they arrived, Harper unlocked the door to Quinn Atelier. The space had changed, larger now, filled with color and light. Dresses hung on silver racks, shimmering in the soft glow of fairy lights. Emma ran her fingers along a gown made of pale blue silk. "This one's beautiful." "It's called Forgiveness," Harper said. Emma blinked. "Really?" Harper nodded. "I designed it after you left." Emma turned to her, heart thudding. "Why that name?" Harper's lips curved sadly. "Because I had to forgive myself before I could forgive you." The air between them grew heavy, full of old pain and new hope. "I thought you'd hate me," Emma murmured. "I did," Harper admitted. "For a while. But then I realized hating you meant I was still in love with you." Emma's breath caught. "And now?" Harper stepped closer, close enough for Emma to smell the faint trace of lavender and coffee that always clung to her. "Now I'm just here. Still loving you, maybe. Still learning how to." Silence stretched, fragile and charged. Emma wanted to reach out, to close the space between them, but fear still lingered, the fear of repeating the past, of losing herself again in someone else's orbit. "Harper," she whispered, "I don't know if I can do this." "Do what?" "Fall again. With you. I'm still scared." Harper's gaze softened. "Then let's be scared together." Before Emma could reply, Harper took her hand slowly, carefully, like asking for permission. And Emma didn't pull away. The following weeks unfolded like déjà vu, but different this time. They took things slow. No grand gestures, no dramatic promises. Just shared mornings, long talks, and the quiet comfort of being seen. Harper often invited Emma to her shows, introducing her as someone very important. Emma blushed every time. Once, after a late-night fashion event, they walked through Central Park. The city lights shimmered through the bare trees, painting silver patterns on the frozen pond. Emma stopped to look at the reflections. "Do you ever think we were just bad timing?" Harper smiled faintly. "Maybe. But timing changes. What matters is we didn't stop wanting to find each other again." Emma looked at her, realizing just how much Harper had grown and how much she herself had too. Maybe love wasn't about being perfect. Maybe it was about coming back when you finally knew how to stay. But the past has a way of testing new beginnings. One evening, while Emma was helping Harper prepare for her next collection, she overheard a phone call. Harper's tone was low, tense. "Yes, Lila," Harper said. "I told you I'm done. Please stop calling me." Emma froze. The name hit like ice water. Harper turned, startled to see her standing there. "Emma. So she's still calling?" Emma asked, her voice tight. Harper sighed, running a hand through her hair. "It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" "Because it looks like déjà vu." "She's been trying to apologize," Harper said. "She wants closure. That's all." Emma crossed her arms. "And you couldn't tell me?" "I didn't want to drag old ghosts into this," Harper said, her voice rising. "I thought we were building something new. But honesty is part of that, isn't it?" Emma shot back. Harper's jaw clenched. "So what, you don't trust me?" Emma faltered. "I want to. But then stop letting the past make your choices for you." Harper's voice cracked, echoing through the studio. "I'm not her, Emma. And you're not the woman who walked away anymore." Silence. Then Emma whispered, "Maybe I just need some air." She left before Harper could answer. That night, snow began to fall again, soft, relentless, like the year before. Emma wandered aimlessly, ending up on the Brooklyn Bridge. She watched the city lights blur through her tears. She wanted to stop running. From fear. From love. From herself. Her phone buzzed, a message from Harper. "I'm sorry. I'm not good with words when I'm scared. But you matter to me. You always have. Come home." Emma stared at the screen, heart aching. Home. The word lingered. She typed back slowly. Then stop hiding behind pride. "I'll meet you halfway." When she returned to the studio, Harper was waiting outside in the snow, no coat, shivering slightly but smiling when she saw her. "You came back," Harper whispered. "I never really left," Emma said. They stood there for a long time before Harper stepped closer. "I don't want to fight with you." "Then don't," Emma said softly. "Just be here. With me." Harper exhaled shakily. "You know, when you walked out last year, I thought I'd never recover. But maybe we needed to fall apart to understand what we were missing." Emma's eyes glistened. "And what was that?" Harper smiled, tears freezing on her lashes. "Everything." Their kiss this time wasn't hesitant. It was desperate, hungry, full of every word they couldn't say. The cold melted around them, replaced by warmth, the kind that starts in the chest and spreads until it feels like breathing again. When they finally broke apart, Harper rested her forehead against Emma's. "Stay," she whispered. Emma smiled through tears. "I'm done running." The next few months became a blur of creation and healing. Harper's new collection Resilience drew inspiration from their story. Silk gowns with asymmetrical seams, symbolizing imperfection turned into beauty. Emma helped write the show's press release, weaving Harper's emotions into words that made critics cry. At the launch, Harper dedicated the final piece to Emma. "For the one who taught me that love isn't about being flawless," she said on stage. "It's about being brave enough to begin again." Emma watched from the front row, her heart swelling. When their eyes met across the crowd, it felt like the entire city disappeared. After the show, they walked hand in hand through the quiet streets of Manhattan. The air smelled like spring, the snow long melted. "Do you think people will ever stop judging?" Emma asked softly. Harper shrugged. "Maybe. Maybe not. But love doesn't need their permission." Emma smiled. "You sound like a quote from a movie. Maybe I'll design the costumes for one someday. Then I'll write the script." Harper laughed, pulling her close. "Deal." They stopped at a small bridge overlooking the river. Lights shimmered on the water, reflecting two figures standing side by side, imperfect, but real. Emma leaned her head on Harper's shoulder. "You know what's crazy?" "What?" "I used to think Valentine's Day cursed me, but now I think it just rerouted me." Harper kissed the top of her head. "Then I'll thank the curse." Later that night, as they lay together in Harper's apartment surrounded by sketches, fabrics, and the scent of jasmine, Emma whispered, "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if we hadn't met that day?" Harper smiled sleepily. "I don't want to. Because whatever came before, it led me here." Emma traced lazy circles on Harper's hand. "You're impossible. And you love it." Emma laughed quietly. "Yeah, I do." Outside, the city hummed alive, imperfect, beautiful. Inside, two women who had broken, healed, and learned to love again finally found their peace. And somewhere between the lines of their story, they both realized, love isn't something you fall into. It's something you choose again and again, even when it scares you. A year later, the world had changed, or maybe it was just them. Emma stood backstage at Harper's latest fashion show, her heart thudding in time with the music pulsing beyond the curtain. The theme this season was rebirth. Dresses flowed like living things, filled with movement, color, and daring hope. Harper had outdone herself again. But this time, she wasn't just the designer everyone admired. She was herself unapologetically, completely. And Emma was proud. "Hey!" a voice called softly. Emma turned. Harper stood behind her in a deep emerald suit, her hair swept back, eyes shining. "How do I look?" she asked, spinning once playfully. "Like the woman who made me believe in love again," Emma said. Harper smirked. "Careful, or I'll start crying before the finale." Emma laughed and adjusted Harper's collar, her touch lingering. "I'm serious, Harper. I don't think I've ever been prouder of anyone in my life." Harper's gaze softened. "You know, I used to think success would fill every hole in me. Turns out it didn't." "You did." Emma blinked back tears. "God, you're getting good at this sentimental stuff." "I learned from the best," Harper teased. The lights dimmed. Music swelled. Models began walking the runway, each gown telling a story of struggle and beauty intertwined. The crowd was rapt. When the final model stepped out, draped in a white dress made entirely of recycled fabric stitched with gold thread, the audience rose to their feet. It was raw, emotional, revolutionary. As applause thundered, Harper stepped onto the runway to take her bow, but instead of walking alone, she turned to where Emma stood. Their eyes met. Harper extended her hand. Emma froze. Cameras flashed. People whispered. But Harper didn't care. She smiled, her voice trembling as she said into the mic, "None of this would exist without her. The person who taught me that love, real love, is the most radical act of all." Emma hesitated only for a second before stepping forward. The applause grew louder. A few gasps rippled through the audience, but there were smiles too, understanding, acceptance. Under the bright lights, Harper took Emma's hand and kissed it. And for once, Emma didn't care who saw. After the show, they escaped the chaos, slipping out through a back alley into the cool New York night. Harper's adrenaline was still buzzing. "You just came out to the entire fashion industry," Emma said, half laughing, half crying. "Good," Harper replied. "I was tired of hiding joy." Emma shook her head, still stunned. "You realize what you just did?" "Yes," Harper said simply. "I chose you." Publicly, finally, completely. Emma felt something inside her break open that last fragile wall she hadn't realized she'd been holding up. She cupped Harper's face, her voice trembling. "You didn't have to prove anything to me." "I wasn't proving it," Harper said. "I was celebrating it." And when she leaned in to kiss her under the flickering streetlight, surrounded by the hum of the city, Emma kissed her back like the world was finally right again. Days turned into weeks. Life settled into a rhythm of quiet mornings and creative nights. Emma began writing again, essays, short stories, even a column about love in all its messy forms. Her first piece was titled "The Space Between Fear and Freedom." It went viral. One afternoon, Harper found her sitting at the kitchen counter, editing her draft. "You know," Harper said, leaning against the doorway, "you're kind of famous now." Emma laughed. "Only for being emotionally damaged in print." "I call it honest," Harper said, kissing the top of her head. Emma smiled up at her. "And I call you my best decision." But even love that strong isn't immune to storms. A few months later, Harper received an offer from a major European fashion house, her dream job. Paris. A lifetime opportunity. Emma read the letter over Harper's shoulder, heart twisting. "This is huge," she said quietly. "Yeah," Harper breathed. "It's everything I worked for." "Then you have to take it." Harper turned to her sharply. "You're saying that too fast." Emma forced a smile. "Because I mean it. You deserve this." "But what about us?" Emma hesitated. "We'll figure it out. Long distance, video calls, maybe I'll visit." Harper's expression darkened. "Emma, I don't want a love that's half here and half somewhere else." "Then what do you want?" "You," Harper said. "Every day." Emma's throat tightened. "And if I can't move there right now?" Harper reached for her hand. "Then I'll wait. But don't tell me to go if part of you wants me to stay." Emma looked at her, really looked, and saw the fear beneath the strength. The same fear she carried too. "I want you to go," she said softly. "Because love shouldn't be a cage, Harper. Not even a beautiful one." The day Harper left for Paris, the airport was a blur of tears and laughter. Emma hugged her tightly, breathing in the scent of lavender one last time. "Promise me one thing," Harper whispered. "Anything. Keep writing. Keep fighting for us in your words." Emma nodded, tears spilling freely now. "And you keep designing the world I want to live in." They kissed goodbye, long and tender, surrounded by strangers who didn't matter. As Harper disappeared past security, Emma whispered to herself, "Go shine, love. I'll see you in the next chapter." Months passed. They kept in touch, calls at midnight, postcards that smelled faintly of perfume and rain. Harper's career soared in Paris. Emma's writing blossomed too, her essays touching people worldwide. Still, there were nights when the distance hurt, when silence felt like an ocean. But love, Emma learned, isn't about always being together. It's about never forgetting why you started. One winter evening, almost a year later, Emma received an email titled simply, "Come to Paris." Attached was a plane ticket. No explanation. No words, just the same courage that had always lived between them. Emma smiled. She packed her things that night. When she arrived, Harper was waiting at the airport, holding a single red rose. "Déjà vu," Emma said, laughing through her tears. "Only better," Harper replied. "Because now we know what we're doing." They spent the day wandering through the narrow Parisian streets hand in hand, ducking into bookshops and cafes, laughing over shared pastries. The world felt lighter again. That night, Harper took her to a rooftop overlooking the Eiffel Tower. The city glittered like 1,000 promises. "I wanted to show you something," Harper said, pulling a small box from her pocket. Emma froze. "Harper." "Not what you think," Harper said, smiling. She opened the box to reveal 2 silver rings, simple, elegant, intertwined like their lives. "They're not engagement rings," Harper said. "They're commitment rings. For now. For what we've already survived." Emma felt her throat close up. "They're perfect." Harper slid one onto her finger. "This one's for choosing each other no matter the distance, no matter the fear." Emma slipped the other onto Harper's. "And this one's for coming home wherever we are." They kissed as fireworks bloomed over the city, soft light spilling across their joined hands. Years later, people would still talk about Harper Quinn's Rebirth collection, how it changed the face of fashion, how it carried messages of diversity, sustainability, and love. Few knew the real story behind it. Two women who learned that vulnerability was the strongest thing they could wear. Emma turned her essays into a book, The Art of Staying. It became a quiet success, read in airports, coffee shops, and lonely apartments around the world. In the dedication she wrote, "For Harper, who showed me that love isn't about finding the right person, but becoming the right one beside them." One crisp Valentine's morning, years after that first spilled coffee, they sat together in a Paris cafe, older, calmer, still hopelessly in love. Harper reached across the table and brushed a crumb from Emma's cheek. "Still think the universe was playing a joke on you that day?" Emma smiled, eyes full of warmth. "Maybe, but it turned out to be the best punchline." Harper chuckled, leaning forward to kiss her hand. "Happy anniversary, love." "Happy accident," Emma corrected. They both laughed, the kind of laughter that comes from knowing the hardest parts are behind you, and the best ones are still waiting. Outside, Paris shimmered with life, and inside, two women who had fought for love in all its forms sat side by side, unafraid of the world anymore. Because love, they had learned, wasn't about forever. It was about every now, every glance, every touch, every quiet moment that says, "I choose you again." And as Harper's fingers intertwined with hers, Emma whispered, "You're my favorite beginning." Harper smiled. "And you're my favorite home." Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe to get notifications about next videos.